Well, back guys to the F1 Manager career mode here with Ferrari, and we are going into the final two races here. We've got Brazil, and it is between Carlos Sainz and Charles Leclerc for that World Championship. We actually stuck Giovinazzi in the first session, but there's a lot of rain scheduled here, so we just go straight into qualifying. No rain scheduled for the rest of the weekend. Q1, a lot of grid penalties, as you can see, for Verstappen, Perez, Leclerc, Magnussen, Ocon, Russell, and a few more. It's going to be a very mixed up grid, and it's just going to be a question of who can, get the right strategy. Because we've seen Brazil recently in real life. It was literally like a fucking 5-stop race. People just kept pitting for fresh soft tyres, and I think that's definitely the way to go, unless you've just got a car that's very kind on the tyres and can eke it out. But we haven't really had that this season, Ferrari. I mean, yes, we're top. We're going to win both championships, but I don't feel like we've had a car that's particularly great on tyres. Maybe that's because I've pushed it to the max, but as you can see here in Q3, there is your final order, but we've literally got grid penalties for everybody. So don't read too much into that. It means it's going to be a Valtteri Bottas and Pierre Gasly front row, which is just an absolutely insane front row. I mean, we've literally half the grid, probably more than half the grid there taking grid penalties, but we kick off and look at this mixed up grid. Verstappen, Sainz and Perez all doing it at the back. Leclerc, he needs to score a mega amount of points on Sainz, so let's hope he can do that. But he overtakes Gasly, who kind of just bottled that big time via Valtteri Bottas. Valtteri Bottas has been in pretty good form recently, of course. He got that podium in Austin. Looks like he could be about to lay the smackdown here with another good result. But we are starting on the hard tyre with Leclerc. Everyone else on the medium, bar a few drivers on the softs. And of course Sainz, our teammate, is on the hards too, but we try to overtake Valtteri Bottas and we manage it, and I think that's going to be crucial for our race. Now Leclerc's just going to have to race off into the distance and get the job done in this 71 lap race. It's going to take forever. 6 laps in, we've got Sainz, Perez battling. We've overtook the two backmarker teams are clearly the two Astons and two Williams. As speaking of Haas, Kevin Magnussen spins not quite on pole position this week. But Verstappen's made his way up to P5. We've got Sainz and Perez slowly making their way up, but they're just not making enough progress as Verstappen. As Alonso and Verstappen are battling side by side here for P5, but we've got a yellow sector here. We try and hang it around the outside. We've got Perez, ourselves, and Hamilton all battling for P9. Fucking jobber positions, if you ask me, but it's an insane battle. Now, can we hang it around the outside of Perez? We can't quite, as quite a few people make their pit stops, but look at the gap that Leclerc's got on the rest of these guys. Absolutely insane as we're going to push these hard tyres. Maybe Leclerc can just do a one stop, not really 100% sure, but as you can see, we've brought in Carlos Sainz. Verstappen though, he doesn't have to pit. We've still got Leclerc out there with his strategy that's going on. Sergio Perez though, spins, a weird spin. If I'm being honest, don't know where it really came from, but it is what it is. As you see, Leclerc comes out, rejoins with 11 laps to go, ahead of Valtteri Bottas. He's ahead of Bottas, Gasly, Perez, but that's what the final podium position here is battling for. And Gasly's did pretty well this season. Verstappen, though, his race is kind of just fucking fell apart. I actually don't know what happened to Verstappen. He just ended up... He must have had like a slow pit stop or something, because literally out of nowhere he just ended up being in this podium battle to like nowhere. As Sainz kind of just mounts the fucking curb and overtakes. Meanwhile, Vettel, he locks up nearly, goes straight into the wall. We got 2.5 laps to go, and we're still battling with these guys. But as you can see, Sainz's tyres are pretty much done here. And can we hold on? Gasly thinking about it as we're going up the hill, and we just don't really have much tyre life or energy recovery system left. Perez thinking about it. Gasly's blasted through. We've got George Russell in the background who probably would run. Is it George Russell? No, actually, it's another AlphaTauri as Perez overtakes us there. But this is exactly what Leclerc needs. Leclerc needs these two to beat Sainz, as we've got these two trying to battle here, and Carlos Sainz actually ends up finishing P5 as Leclerc wins for Bottas, for Perez, Gasly, Sainz, Hamilton, Russell, Alonso, Guan Yu Zhou, and Esteban Ocon. And I'm liking these races at the end of the season because they're, the grid is out of order and it's very mixed up. I feel like the game's brilliant, but I mean, of course, you do like kind of like the game feeling of where it's like a mixed up order. But of course, I love the realism of the game too, because that's like the whole point of it is a manager game. And I've loved this season so far, but at this point, The championship is still alive. Leclerc just needs to outscore Sainz by 19 points, that is, going into Abu Dhabi. I mean, it's possible. I mean, if Sainz DNFs, there's no reason why Leclerc can't win the championship as we head into the final round. But aye, guys, that will do it for this episode. Until the season finale in Abu Dhabi, leave your thoughts down below. It's going to be absolutely insane.